Welcome to this channel. This channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So last week, this podcast on Sifu Mark Welly's transformation channel was released. And after this podcast released, many of our friends in Wing Chun and traditional Chinese martial arts have watched it. And due to that, many of our friends is asking me to share more on internal and external. And some friends is asking me, question me, how can I know? How am I so sure about the Pro-Ching or 1870s Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao or 3 sets and the wooden dummy sets, which is as today Wing Chuners practice, do not have the contents of the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao. So today, I like to share with you this video. This is the first time in the West that I want to open this entire thing up for you, so that after you watch this video, you are really clear on what you get into, because this channel is for education. Now, I'm sharing this for educations. I'm not sharing this to tell everybody in the world that I am the grandmaster. I am the only guy who know it all. No, I'm not going that path. I'm sharing this with you so that it saves your time. You know the proper directions, and also is going to help Wing Chun to further develop. And also, if you belong to different Chinese Kung Fu, you'll be able to know what is the reality and not get into all kind of mess like today we face. Now, so today I'm going to share with you a totality of what is going on, which if you check in the history for past 130 years, since the end of Qing dynasty, nobody make this clear. Now, then you will say, well, Hendrik, so you know it does, and my fan might say, well, Hendrik is like the last grandmaster. No, I'm not. Anybody who have reached the beginning state of the real practice of Chinese Kung Fu will be able to tell you what I'm telling you today. Okay? I am not the only one in this world. And of course, I'm not the only one. Why? Because I need to learn. Okay? There are many people in Asia who know this, but they don't speak English. But they don't think with the engineering systematic way. So there are plenty of good people who know what I'm going to share with you. But most of the world, 99.999% of people do not know this. By evidence, in past 130 years, since 1870, the Pro-Ching Wing Chun, who designed those 4 sets today, the 3 sets, Xiu Lim Tao Cham Kiu Biu Ji, and the wooden dummy, until today, there is no signs of they have gone this far. Okay? So again, I am not saying that I'm the only guy. I'm saying that the world up there, top there are many people. Who knows? That's why I learned from them, but because of a different uh, conditions, they don't share it. Will they share it? Yes. Because what we do it, what I'm doing here is for education, for everybody. I have no interest to make one guy superstar. I have no interest of that. My mindset is like Chi Chi Guang. I rather to have 100 people who have all the basic educations, be able to handle well, than one superstar. Everybody look at it. That's actually useless. That's not about education. There's the personal, what do you call it, boosting. Okay. So that is my mindset, my direction. I'm saying this so that every one of you have a chance to develop it. Why not? You spend the time, you spend the money, you go buy, see, you bow to somebody, then you deserve to have it. And for me, almost 50 years of my study and learning around the world and with different teachers. Today, I want to sum it up with this 1 hour for you. So be patient. The first thing you need to learn is to be patient, listen to what I say, every words. You might want to take notes on what I say, every words. And I can share with you. When I go to Asia to seek out the master to learn, I have to do more than that, okay? Because they test me left and right. If I cannot learn, I don't have the patience, forget about it. They are not going to tell me anything, okay? So, the first thing, if you want to learn the real thing in Wing Chun or all the Chinese martial art or Qigong or Buddhism or Taoism, the first thing, you need to know the 3 level of learning or 3 state of learning. As I have shared in the Zen, it said that the first level is the mountain is a mountain, a river is a river. The second state is the mountain is no longer a mountain, the river is no longer a river. The third state is the mountain is just a mountain, a river is just a river. Unless one go through this, one know this, one will not be able to master what need to be mastered. And thus, as today, most people, that 99.99% of people, I tell you at front that don't know, because they never go through this. So to make it clear again, the analogy of these 3 states of learning is we make an analogy like learn to be a cook. The beginning or the beginner of learning to cook is mountain is a mountain. Okay, you see the mountain is the mountain. So when you begin to learn to cook, you have the recipe, you have 2 teaspoons of sugar, you have 3 teaspoons of vinegar, you have 1 teaspoon of salt, and then you want this 50 grams of broccoli and 30 grams of onion and so forth. You just follow the recipe. That is a mountain, is a mountain. Or if I want to cook these dishes, I have to follow this recipe. That is the first level. You really don't know anything. You're just following. And even, in fact, if you screw up, you don't know. Now, today, Chinese Kung Fu and Wing Chun, most are at this level. And then they start to say, hey, you know, this recipe, I can have more sugar, I can have more salt, can have more vinegar, I can put some wine. But they really don't know what they are doing. They say, well, this is my opinion. Everybody can have an opinion. They are not cooking that dishes anymore. They just go for whatever they don't know. The second level of the cook is you really get in the kitchen, you get hot, and you keeping tasting it. If this kung pao chicken, I have more sugar, it tastes this way. If I have more the Chinese, the sauce, it tastes this way. If I have less, it tastes this way. And sometimes you say, I put everything exactly the same. No, the same amount of salt, the same amount of sugar. But how come it changed? Why? Oh, maybe I cooked too long. So there is the second level. The person go through, oh my God, it is tasting different. Even I use the same recipe and the temperature and what happened to this and everything. So a mountain is not a mountain. A dishes is no longer a dishes. It's everything. Everything can go chaotic. Okay. People spend a long time in that chaotic situations. Those who cannot handle the heat of the kitchen drop off. But all this, they are still not the cook. Until someday they go through enough suffering, struggling, and so forth, so forth, so forth, so forth. Then they just can taste a dishes from somebody, say, hey, this is too much sugar. Oh, you change the taste because you change this ingredient. Now you become a cook. Okay? Now, real Chinese Kung Fu, Wing Chun practitioner has to go through that. And this is nothing to do with you're the best fighter in the world, or nothing to do with that. It just makes sure that you know what you're talking about. But today, most grandmaster is in that first ladder, the level. You want to do Xiu Lim Tao this way. Oh, this is my way. This is that way. It's like the first level cook, the beginner who don't even know what is going on and keeping saying that I need to have put more salt and I have to put some wine. Bottom line is they never taste that. They never even know the taste of that particular disc. So I hope you got it. Those who go through this 3 level, say, if you talk about Kung Pao chicken, they know exactly what is Kung Pao chicken. They know about the salt, how much salt you're going to put, and how much sugar, and they know how you can play with that taste. But it's still, it doesn't taste really like a standard Kung Pao chicken, but you know it is Kung Pao chicken and it is tastes good. That is what none of the first level people can do. Very sad to tell you that in the past 130 years of Wing Chun, since the Pro Ching designed their stuff, up to now, I do not see one grandmaster have that second level and the third level. Those people put a lot of effort, sure, but they never go through this. That's why you look at today, like Xiu Lim Tao, this way, that way, that way, and then they go add in Tai Chi and all this thing. And then if Hendrik say this, they say, why are we going to say this? If I say six core element, they call six core element. They say, I say force flow, they say force flow. It is the first level, a cook messing thing up, they don't even know what they are talking about. Now, if you know that, you can scan that thing like the Kung Pao chicken. You know exactly what is this. Okay? And there are many people in the world have this level. I'm not the only guy. And that's why I'm learning and I need to learn and I go to different place to learn. But I tell you today, why? To put you down? No. What is the point to be a fake Kung Fu master? Or you just learn some recipe like the cook and you go out there saying that, I am the grandmaster of the cook. Oh, I'm from this lineage, this recipe. I got this recipe, secret recipe, like secret set from this grandmaster and so forth. You don't even have going through that a cook is not a cook. Salt. I put the same salt, but how come it tastes different? Scratch your head. Check, 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 check. What only does, you go through all this, then you look at a student come bow to you, kowtow to you, give you a red package, and you know, hey, you shouldn't do this. You screw up here. This is how you practice, right? But this is what you miss. That is how a Sifu supposed to be. Not like today. Oh, I'm from this this lineage, this style, and then I have this certificate and all this thing. But hey, man, you don't even know what is going on. You don't even know what is the Kung Pao chicken where you are cooking. Okay, so this is a straight talk. It's for educations. I am not the only guy in the universes who know this, but all my teachers know this, and they are even more advanced than me. Okay, so this is how the reality is and how people can scan your Kung Fu. You cannot bullshit. Now, let's talk about the very important thing, the six core element, which is I wrote in this book. This is the only book in this world which present you the proper six core element. Okay? There might be a lot of copycat out there, but you know that they belong to the first level guy. That's what I tell you. Okay, they never gone through a cook. It's not a cook. That's why they have no idea what it is. So this is the only book. Now I want to share with you more on this from this, you know, on top of this book. Six core elements. You need to be really careful from the six core element in order to be able to have a full basic comprehensive view of totality system. This is just very basic. That's why I said basic Wing Chun art and science. Very, very basic. If you don't know this, you cannot handle this, you are not even kindergarten. Okay. The first thing, the body. You need to be able to handle different muscle and different part of your body. It never is. When people say, "Oh, you stand in 一级抗氧嘛, you need to stand in the clamp your knees, tucking your tailbone, lifting your anus." It never is like that. You need to know practically your body, how those things function. That's number one. For details, you go here. Now, number two is you need to know that you are using the awareness Not your total concentrations, not your intention, not your thinking, not your philosophy, not your concept. When it comes to your mind, you need to use your awareness. Drop everything else. Okay? Now, still here. The third element is your breathing. Your breathing. So you want to have your breathing to synchronize with your mind and your breathing synchronize together or become one. Serious. Okay? Serious. This is the key. The mind or the awareness and your breathing become one. If your breathing and your awareness cannot become one, you will not be able to develop or train your breathing. Okay? So, if you don't know your body is in the awkward position like triangle shape and then bending your spine and all those kind of stuff, forget about it. You are already, even for the physical element. You get into the mind element. If you don't know how to use awareness, you're gone already. Okay? Now, if you don't know how to use your physical, it's guaranteed your mind is going to be distorted. It's like you have a tensing body. Can you have a quiet mind? You can. Like our hand, if it pains like hell, can we quiet our mind? Can we have that awareness, or everything, the awareness, everything is get distracted here because it's pain like hell? So if you're standing in that really foolish clamping knee stance, where your knee is pain like hell, is doing injury there, is doing damage there, long-term damage there, and you say, I am going to calm my mind. I mean, come on. Who are you, kid? That again is like when you go through the people who never go through the cooking. This is the first level. Following recipe. You're going to do those kind of stuff because you don't know what happened. Now, when you know how to use your awareness of your mind element, then you want to synchronize that or become one with your breathing. Again, basic is here in this book. At that state, if you reside there for long enough means it might be 2 hours, it might be 10 years. But if you have a teacher, you'll be, say, not more than 24 hours of training time. You'll be able to achieve that mind and breathing synchronization, or the awareness and breathing synchronizations. Meaning you have a handling on your, you're aware of your breathing and you have the handling on that. Now, if you reside in that state of mind and breathing synchronization, or mind or awareness, when I say mind, no, I better say awareness and the breathing is synchronized. If you reside there long enough, guess what? You don't have to do anything. You will aware of the energy flow in your body. You're aware of the energy surface, and you're aware of the energy flow of your body. At this state, we just get into the fourth core of the sixth core element, the energy element. Now you use your awareness to synchronize with your energy, the energy flow. Okay? Yes, that's how it is. But if you never get there, you never even go through all this element by element. You sit down there, hallucinations, fantasying. There is a heat. There is this flow, that flow. No, I mean, you're going to get yourself trouble. It's just like the guy who don't know how to cook. Say, why are you going to put wine here? You want to put whatever. So when you practice, get up to the state of awareness and breathing is synchronized, it become one. And long enough that the energy surface, that means is the cultivate of qi. When it get to the level, once this energy surface, you still at that time, your awareness and breathing still is one. Your energy surface, then you break this away. Your awareness now is one or synchronized with your energy. That is the energy level, and that is the level of mind, the flow of energy. That is the fourth core element. Most people today, you look around, Tai Chi, internal meditation, Qigong, I call it bullshit. Because you don't even know all these things. You couldn't even tell what it is. So it is like, remember the second level of the cook? A cook is not a cook, a dish is not a dish. You have to go through all of this, and then you say, you put too much sugar, or you forget to put salt there. You go through this, okay? Now, I want to bring up one thing. Today, people are keeping saying, Zen, detached, Taoist, okay? Again, I call them bullshit. Why? Let me share with you. The Taoist way and the Buddhist way of practicing that the body, you have to loose up the body, aware of your body, using awareness, and then aware of your breathing, and then aware of your energy. These are the same process. However, the direction is different. The Taoists going through this process, and when they got this energy, they are going to do what? They're going to grow the energy, they're going to circulate it. And there's a lot of manipulations there. That's why they can use the Qigong to heal, because they can direct their energy. That's Taoist. Now, for the Buddhists, they don't do that. So how the Buddhists do? The Buddhists still go through that. The awareness and the breathing become one. That's called what? Anapanasati, the beginning of it. When you get the higher level anapanasati, you'll get into the aware of the energy too. The difference is this. The difference is the directions of the Buddhists is they aware, but do not follow, do not respond, and do not react. This is like they come, let it go. That is how they will get into the selfless, no self, non-attached. That's how the Buddhists get into that. That when they are aware of the breathing, aware of the energy, but they let it come, let it go, because everything is impermanent, like a dream. So the Buddhists stay there, aware, but they don't respond, they don't react. and they enter into the samadhi. That is how they get enlightenment. That is how they achieve, they attain that no self. Because whatever thing self and all this, the body and the sensations and the me, the self and everything, all at that point they see it come and goes, so they never grasp. That is non-attached. It is not about I want to detach on something. When you say I want to detach on something, that means you have you already. You have an I, myself. I want to detach on something. The Buddhist is not. That's why they practice this vipassana samatha for stillness or calmness, and vipassana for contemplation. What did they do? They were sitting there, aware of everything, keeping deeper and deeper for this core element, but they do not respond, they do not react. They let it come, let it go. Okay? And the Taoist is different. Taoist said, well, I know how to grow this energy. I want to get more energy. I know I'm sick. I want to have this circulation. You see the difference? So here on, let's stop all this bullshit on, oh, this is Buddhist, this is Taoist, but can you tell me what is this? They never go through that. They never go through the samatha and vipassana. They never go through the Taoist to develop their chi, their breathing, their chi, and then to repair or to circulate their mind. Mind is the flow of energy. So it's like the guy who never go through a cook is not a cook, a this is not a this, never go through that, never get even the kitchen for long to get heat and sweat, and then talking bullshit. And then become grandmaster and the entire world go with it. Okay? You must remember this. Okay? Don't screw your mind, because if you not get into the level of the chi, or the level of the mind, you keeping thinking about it, you keeping making things up, guess what? You are making up the sensation. Sensation doesn't mean that you go to that state. You can say, well, I feel hot. But then wait a minute, you don't even know how to breathe. Because I feel hot in my dantian. I'm the grandmaster. I'm number one. You look at today's grandmaster, all is like that. That's wrong. Wrong for Buddhists, wrong for Taoists. Because the Chinese is really, really strict in educations. It doesn't matter Taoist or Buddhist. The bottom line is, hey, let's do something to help people. People are in samsara, in suffering. We want to help them. But if you go through all this nonsense, you are screwing up people for yourself. So that's why they call it demonic state. So a sutta called Surangama have 50 demonic states. People sometimes have some attainment and then they just go sidetrack and all this bullshit. And then the people follow it is going to go down to the hell. Okay? When it's going down to the hell, meaning that you go through a cycle path where you no longer be able to live in this world with everybody. And you don't see what is the reality. So we don't want to do that. That is against the real teaching of the ancestor and everything. And it's also against the persons who designed the Wing Chun 1850s or the anti-Ching Wing Chun 1850s Xiu Lim Tao. Because in Wing Chun 1850 Xiu Lim Tao is a fusion of the Buddhist and the Taoist. At the beginning, it raised up to the handling of the chi and the breathing, the chi, the mind and everything. On top, they let it go. That's where You start with the Taoist and you go into the Buddhist. That's what it is. Now, after, if you have this, be able to sense your energy, it's very easy to sense your force, which is flowing your body, or Fa Jing, your entire Jing. You know it very clearly. You can see this like you can see the fish in the fish bowl, the glass fish bowl. After this, you know the strength, you know the momentum. Anybody who never go through this, a cook is not a cook, a dish is not a dish, up to this level, will not be able to tell you there's a momentum there. And never be able to tell you fighting is about momentum. By stuck in Jing or structure. Is that structure anything wrong? Nothing wrong. But you know it is incomplete. It is just based on a part of physical. It is not the dynamic. So this is the sixth core element. If you don't know this, you will not be able to know what is the basic teaching of the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao set. If you know this, you will be able to scan all other Kung Fu. Because now you can see the signature of different elements of different Kung Fu, how he designed that thing. Okay? So, what internal? What external? If you don't have this educations, this experience, a cook is not a cook experience, this is not this is experience. It is empty. That's why Xi Xiaodong said, oh, you guys are Chinese Kung Fu, you are fake. Yeah, you're fake. Because if you don't even know this, what the ancient Chinese say, you create your stuff, making choreography, what are you develop? And just now I share with you. You can trace it down to the Taoist practice, you can trace down to the Buddhist practice, and you know your body, right? Now, that is still the basic. That is still not the martial art part. So don't get anybody bullshit using that you're breathing that way, you zhan zhuang, and then you practice this solo, soft, and then you become the internal martial. That's called bullshit. It is not even martial arts. In early 1900 or late 1890, the Chinese is taking some of this nonsense, packaging it up and call it internal martial art. So that's why it become a mess like today. That's why you go up to MMA, UFC, you knock out clear. Because it's fake. In the real ancient, disregard it is Tai Chi or Bagua, the real guy will, the grandmaster, will agree with what I just shared with you on the sixth core element, will know what it is. And they will agree on the next thing I'm going to share with you. Even though they might have a different way of doing it or opinion, but they will agree. And this is the serious thing on the martial arts. So what we talk about, the sixth core element, is only over here. What I shared with you just now, even if you get handle of it, you are in the nurture chi training and fitness training. You never really get into the martial art training yet. You never. Okay? You might be able to know in the breathing, like you can sing qi to dantian, you're breathing like this. You cannot sing qi to this dantian when you have the triangle pigeon toe stance, clamping your knee, tucking your tailbone, using your mind, power, whatever. You know it. You know how the breathing is supposed to be because you have your awareness and your breathing is one. You know your intra-abdominal pressure. But you're still not training in this. Why? Because at this martial art level, this is all manipulative. For example, if we model the fighting as two range, one is the outside range, one is the dangerous range or dangerous zone. Okay, let me show you here. Okay, if we define fighting as a dangerous zone and out of range zone, danger zone meaning that we fight already. You punch me, I punch you, we exchange blow, you try to take me down, I try to rest you to the ground, I try to do submissions, I try to nail you, whatever is in here. Now, the breathing over here is completely unnatural because in the breathing over here, it is performance. Like for example, you strike somebody, you strike your opponent, you strike. You strike the second strike and suddenly you feel you are actually almost out of gas, out of breath. So what you do? At that situations, you sometimes disconcern about your almost loss of breath. You get in more, slam in, and say you tie him up. You use your last breath to tie him up. Well, that is about performance. That's got nothing to do with my body, energy. Actually, that can cause stagnations in your body energy. Because you're brute forcing your breathing. That's not natural at all. Okay? Now, at this level, same with the breathing, same with the energy, same with your physical at this level. It is manipulative. Say, for example, just now I tell you about the what do you call it, the sixth core element. The first core element is the physical. Well, in the physics core element, you want to be put it natural and so forth. But at the fighting, sometimes you know what? He's going to punch. I'm going to exchange blow, and even my body in the awkward situations, I have to choose what is the minimum loss. I know I'm going to get hit. I know it is damaging already. And I cannot avoid it. So I have to have a trade-off. Which do you lose more? It's not about, oh, I want to be natural. I want to be this. You don't have choice in that fighting. That means you have your muscle tolerance. That means you have to have very unnatural manipulative stuff. So how is the soft be able to apply that? How is so-called the energy, the internal have to apply that? You know that you have to use your muscle to take that blow. Now, if you never train that, you never train the exchange, you never train that, your breathing can go wrong. Can go wrong that sometimes you actually stop breathing. Ideally, you don't want to do that, but you know that you're going to stop breathing. Because your opponent, your rival is going to break your breathing rhythm. Now you need to train for that. Like you're going to sprint. You sprint, it's damaging. In today's science, you say that what that is going to create what? Free radical, and your free radical can screw up your muscle, your cells, because it's a high intensity thing. No, if you never train in this, you never train in sparring, in all this high heavy duty fighting where you can get injured and so forth, and you do get injured, and sometimes people where they are unlucky or they screw up something, they can have permanent damage in their body. It is this martial art training on this level. Of course, when you have this nurture qi, circulate the mind, as I just tell you, you can actually help your body to recover. But this is the damaging training you need. So is damaging training internal, soft? Is fighting soft, slow? No way, it's fast like hell. And sometimes you oops, and you still go. It's not natural at all. It's not even more manipulative anymore. It's emergency, it's survival. That is martial arts. You want to tell me that you want to train this set or this Xu Lim Tao set, you have this mind power, blah, 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 versus Mike Tyson? Who are you going to kid? You want to say that I practice this, have this chi, have this mind power. You ignore the muscle endurance. You ignore that you need to train your core and your intra-abdominal pressure so that you be able to strike in your body, take blow. What is that training your intra-abdominal pressure and your muscle to take blow soft? Is that the same in the demonstration in the state? You get a student up there, oh, you're going to punch the teacher. You see the teacher can take it. Or you put a phone book in here, and then you say, this is the Fa Jing, like Bruce Lee. Are you kidding? In the real world, are you going to mimic Bruce Lee doing the inch punch? Look at it in the boxing and MMA fight. So this is reality in martial arts. In the real martial arts, like Wing Chun 1850s, you know, you have to go through this, the chi and mind, I just shared with you, the fitness thing I have shared with you. Now you're knowing the force and the momentum for fitness, and then you have to get to here. Many people cannot get to here, and of course, after 40-year-old, you better don't get into here if it's not necessary, because after 40-year-old, human's body is actually going downward already. So this is what is all our friends who ask me want to know, internal, external, the signature of the Xu Lim Tao, Cham Qiu Biu Ji, Wooden Dummy. All those who go through as I just shared with you know what exactly it is. They can see it through. It's like making war. You got our side of the general, their side of general. We sit down, we look at the war. We know what is going to happen. If you're not there, you know you cannot take an attack from that the rival. It is this scientific. It is this. The entire world is based on cause and effect. Doesn't matter it's Taoist, it's Buddhist, cause and effect, or it's science. So this is what I want to share with you. As the Bodhidharma said, don't cheat ourselves. Don't cheat others. Don't get cheated. If you don't know what I'm sharing this today, you put yourself into a dangerous situations. But then, you know, if you like to be just like, I want to be like Bruce Lee, I want to be like Yip Man in the movie, well, fine. That is the cosplay world, okay? In the real world, since the Qi Ji Guang fighting the Japanese pilot 470 years ago until today's UFC, sorry, we need to know what we are talking about, what we are doing, what we are training. Grandmaster, do you know what it is? Do you know what the opponent can do? So this is what I like to share with you, a straight talk. The bottom line is educations. If all of us Wing Chuners know this, if all of us develop this, nobody will look us down. And in fact, how many Wing Chuners you have in the world today? 1 million? Say put a discount, 500,000. How many talented young people or people in that 500,000? You put an education like this into Wing Chun, you educate 500,000, even if you just get what? You get 1% of 500,000, you have 5,000 people, which is, you know, it is strong, okay? So truth is not easy to being said because it is, the world today, especially in the Chinese, is full of, for past 100 years, is full of fake. It's not telling the truth. Okay? You get to the West, and then you get into, oh, you know, the first level of cook, teaching the first level of cook. So in the Zen, it said that the naive teaching the naive teaching the naive. The guy who teach, or the teacher, or the sifu going down to the hell, where do you think the student will end up? So today, Chinese Kung Fu is like in Wing Chun the same. It is mostly the naive teaching the naive for past 130 years. You keeping changing recipe and everything, but you never get into the second level. You never get into the third level. That's why if you want to go fight in UFC, what do? You go study BJJ, you study Western boxing, you get the trainer from the UFC. And you follow the training of the MMA. Is that Wing Chun? Of course it's not. That's why Xi Xiaodong said, you guys are all fake. So, sorry that you might not be able to take what I say today. But unless we face the reality, Wing Chun is going down. Wing Chun is going to go down. Sink to the bottom of the sea. And all the people in the boat, you are wasting a lot of talented people in this world. You're wasting a lot of talented Wing Chuners. So if we care, we better to have an education. That is the reason I wrote all this book. Me is not important, like General Qi Ji Guang mentality. Even if the General Qi Ji Guang is the best fighter in the world, big deal. What people are afraid is that you have a team, you have an army of high quality, high standard, high trained army. Then that's what people concern. That's what the rival concern.